Marko, now in his late 30s, is a well-educated man living alone in Banjaluka. His biggest dream is to get married and start a family. So once, he was just one day from altar, but each time something went wrong. Every time Marko thought he had found the perfect partner, he discovered something that made him second-guess his decision. Just in time before I made an awful mistake, he would say. But was it really just bad luck? Or was Marko creating his own problems? 2 years ago, Marko met a girl who seemed perfect. She was attractive, pleasant, and intelligent, but Marko wanted to be absolutely sure that marriage was the right decision. So he took what he thought was a logical step. He drew up a 4-page document filled with stipulations that his future wife had to agree to before they got married. This document covered every detail Marko could think of, from where he would live, how many children they would have, and even specific habits she had to break or acquire. This approach is very similar to how Marko managed risks in his work using the Waterfall model. In the Waterfall model, you plan everything in advance, trying to predict every possible problem before you even start. Marko thought if he could just plan out everything perfectly, nothing could go wrong. When his prospective bride read the document, she quickly sent it back with a note saying, "The usual marriage clause, for better or for worse, is good enough for everyone else, and it's good enough for me. The whole thing is off." She expressed that she believed marriage should be based on mutual trust, love, and the ability to handle challenges together as they arise, rather than trying to control every aspect of their future in advance. Her note, "The whole thing is off," indicates that she was not willing to enter a marriage under such rigid terms. She likely felt that Marko's document was more about control and fear of the unknown than about love and partnership, which led her to call off the engagement. Marko was devastated. He couldn't understand what went wrong. He thought being thorough was the key to avoiding problems, but instead it led him to lose the woman he wanted to marry. The same thing happens in work. Despite all the planning, things often went wrong, and he was left scrambling to fix problems he hadn't anticipated. Now imagine if Marko had approached marriage the same way a Scrum team approaches product development. In Scrum, you don't try to predict every possible risk up front. Instead, you start with what you know as handle challenges as they arise. If Marko had used this approach, he might have started by getting to know his girlfriend better, discussing their values and goals without trying to control every detail. They could have addressed issues together as they come up, adjusting their plans based on what they learn along the way. In work, this approach would have allowed Marko to focus on short-term goals, tackling risks one at a time, and adapting as necessary. Instead of being overwhelmed by trying to plan everything perfectly, he could have been more flexible and responsive, leading to better outcomes. Marko's experiences shows us that trying to eliminate all risks up front, as he did with his marriage plans and his work, had led him to big trouble. The test of success isn't about avoiding all problems before they happen, it's about meeting and overcoming difficulties as they arise. Whether in life or work, it's still a good advice to cross bridges when you get to them. Adopting a more agile approach like Scrum can help you navigate uncertainty effectively, leading to better outcomes and fewer regrets. Thank you for watching.